if you guys don't know, Disney ain't doing so well these days. The stock price is plummeting. All the shares are down, and the company has lost a ton of valuation in the market this year. But it's not just that. They seem to be going to war with Elon Musk, who has much to say on it. And right now, Elon Musk's Grok has much more to say on it, because there was this interesting thing written where basically someone asked Grok to please explain to them why it was that Disney was failing so hard this year.
In case anyone wasn't aware, Grok is X's version of ChatGPT that is still developing, but it had a very powerful explanation for how turning woke negatively impacted Disney. And Elon Musk said Grok is based.
Yes.
Also, Elon Musk. There was someone. Or are you gonna play something?
No, we're gonna read what Grok said here.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and let's read this here. It says. So the question was from Sir Doge of the Coin. Said, explain how turning woke has negatively impacted Disney. Be vulgar, it asks. Oh boy. Where do I even begin with this one? Disney, the once beloved family-friendly entertainment powerhouse, has taken a turn for the worse in recent years. And by turn for the worse, I mean they've gone full-on woke. And it's become a complete disaster. This is starting to sound slightly parody. It says, first off, let's talk about the financial impact. Disney has lost a staggering $123 billion in market value in 2023 alone.
That's real?
That's billion with a B. Their stock has dropped by 44%, and they've had to deal with CEO musical chairs and profitability concerns.
This isn't vulgar enough.
No, it's not. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Not a car wreck, but a train wreck. Except it's a mouse-eared train, and the conductor is wearing a rainbow-colored conductor's hat. But wait, there's more. Disney Plus has lost 4 million subscribers in quarter two, and on top of the 2.4 million they lost in quarter one. That's a whole lot of people who are just not interested in watching quote-unquote woke content. And let's not forget about the string of box office bombs and flops that have plagued the company in recent years. It's like they've forgotten how to make movies that people actually want to see. But it's not just about the money. Disney has also managed to alienate a significant portion of their once loyal fan base. They've taken beloved characters and franchises and turned them into vehicles for their quote-unquote woke agenda. It's like they've taken a sledgehammer to a beautiful sandcastle and then tried to put it back together with duct tape and glitter. And let's not forget about the impact of their theme parks. Once a place where families could go to escape the stresses of everyday life, Disney parks have become ground zero for the quote-unquote woke culture wars. It's like they've forgotten how people just want to ride some rides and eat some overpriced churros. I'm with you, man. Not to be lectured about social justice. In conclusion, Disney's turn to woke culture has been a complete disaster. They've lost billions of dollars, alienated their fan base, and turned their theme parks into a political battleground. It's a cautionary tale for other companies who might be tempted to jump on the woke bandwagon. Just stick to making good content and leave the politics out of it. It's a fair summary.
Grok.
That's a fair summary.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm surprised they didn't mention Rachel Zegler.
I know, right? But it's an accurate assumption, because there's an article from Cosmic Book News today. It says Disney fails in 2023, drops out of the $1 billion club. For the first time in a decade, Disney has failed to reach the magical $1 billion number at the box office. Disney failed to have a movie reach $1 billion in 2023, which is the first time since 2014, if you do not count 2021 and 2020 because of the pandemic. As long as they're not trying to call 2022 the pandemic, I guess I'm okay with that.
I was surprised that they're planning to make a sequel to Inside Out when the first one over a decade ago, or like almost a decade ago, didn't make $1 billion back when it was released. Why would you make a sequel to anything that didn't make $1 billion?
There's
desperation.
There's other factors that count into that. How much did the first one cost versus how much it made? So if it costs less to make but still made a lot of money, just under $1 billion, that's reasonable.
To me, it still reeks of desperation. And they said that they're taking a Marvel approach to the Planet of the Apes franchise. Just by calling it the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it sounds so idiotic.
The Kingdom of the
Kingdom
Planet.
of the Planet of the Apes is literally the title of the next movie.
I really feel like it should be the Planet of the Kingdom of the Apes.
Or just something else. I don't know, like less. We
well,
need
you know,
less
like
of.
you need a planet that can actually
just
have the
don't.
kingdom on it.
Or we just don't
just
make
don't.
another Planet of the Apes.
That's acceptable as well, in my opinion. I wouldn't argue with that. Or at least give it
Nobody
another
asked for it.
Give it another 2 decades, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, give it some time so that way it doesn't feel like one just came out last year.
I would like to see them spend less money on these movies. Like maybe you're not making $1 billion on a movie. It would hurt less if you weren't spending $300 million on every movie you tried to make.
Well, they also pointed out that Star Wars is dead in the water.
Yep.
There's not going to be a Star Wars movie either next year or the next year.
And you're gonna get in the next one. You're gonna get is what, that Rey movie that they're gonna make.
How?
What's the
excited are
Rey?
you about that?
What is the Rey movie?
They're making
what does that
another
mean?
like a Rey trilogy, right? Or another Rey centered movie.
I hope not.
A Rey trilogy of movies.
I think so. It was either a solo movie or a trilogy of solo movies. But yeah,
You don't
based
want
on-
to commit yourself to a trilogy of flops.
based on her character that nobody liked anyways.
Yeah, I didn't want to seem like pandery in saying it, but like, yeah, her character is unlikable. Like,
She's a Mary Sue,
yeah.
and like there was nothing that the character did that was endearing. Like not
There's something about her smile.
well, see,
Something about that.
Why do you think that is? I mean, it is. It's the lack of having to work for what you get. Now, people pointed out, like, a lot of times that can work if the character is pre-established. Like, somebody called the character of Reacher a Mary Sue. I said it doesn't matter because they build his history in the flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's the main character. Also, again, here's where I point out, sucks to suck, but guys and girls are different, and guys or girls are held to different standards
Yeah, they are.
when it
And
comes to movies. People like it when dudes are when male characters tend to be overpowered. There's a reason why on the show Arrow, they liked the fact that Oliver Queen was like ridiculously overpowered compared to everybody else that he was coming into contact in season 1, other than Malcolm Merlin's character, the Dark Archer.
I mean, one of the reasons why Leia was attracted to Han Solo is because he's this hyper competent masculine alpha male. What would Rey see in Finn?
Yeah.
He's a panicky male lead. In fact, actually, no, he's a panicky male co-lead.
Yes. Even worse.
Has
right?
zero appeal.
And somebody else pointed this out. They were using examples when we were talking about Reacher. And he said, "What about?" They mentioned Oliver Queen. I said, "You get 5 years of flashbacks to this character where you see him sucking at being a hero as he's trying to learn what it is to be a hero." So the point is, you get to see that progression and growth in flashbacks, whereas Rey, you don't get to see that.
Yeah, and then it was never explained, as far as I know, how she came into contact with Luke's lightsaber, right?
I don't want to know.
They never explained how that happened.
No, they like. Oh God,
Or did
I
they?
hate it. No, they didn't. I hate it all. It's all just such trash.
And then she's
So
Palpatine's
lazy.
granddaughter for some reason, because like that's relevant.
Well, everything at like so.
Why?
So J.J. Abrams set up a ton of options and set up the ability to do a fairly standard story with the first one, and then what's his name? The guy that did the second one, Joss Whedon, is that his name?
The second, which one?
The second Star Wars with Rey.
No, that
The Force
was
Awakens.
That was Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson, that's it. Then he came in and decided that he was going to do his deconstruct Star Wars thing, and after that, it was trying to. After that movie, they had to fix all of the garbage that he did. They had to literally put the storyline back together because it made no sense.
The funniest part is like if you're gonna do a deconstruction story, it can be. It shouldn't happen at all in a trilogy, but it really shouldn't happen in the middle.
No.
like you could theoretically deconstruct in the first movie and then rebuild in the next two as you start to tell the story over again. You could even theoretically deconstruct in the third movie as things fall apart.
Yeah.
But deconstructing in the middle makes zero sense whatsoever.
Not only like the middle of that movie was the most pointless thing in all of the three all of the trilogy of the sequels, and that movie in and of itself was the garbage of the trilogies. Like, and even though The Last Jedi or whatever the last one was called, like even though it sucked because
the Rise of Skywalker, the last one?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Because they tried to do too much all at once, and they couldn't make anybody happy by trying to make everyone happy.
They were trying to. I really feel like they were set to fail because the whole movie was just like it was all deconstructed by the time they got to the third one, and it was trying to put back together something that was literally torn apart with no story thread in it.
And the sad part about this is like this really speaks to a lot of what Disney's problem is, which is poor leadership right now. Whether it's Kathleen Kennedy over there at Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, who's been touted as this great CEO, hasn't really proven to anyone, at least to me, I don't think he's proven to anyone that he knows how to get the company back on track this year. Not in any way, shape, or form. Elon Musk has taken to really criticizing Disney because of the virtue signaling that they've done based around ads on X and things like that. So he injected himself into the culture war aspect of it. Also, did you see the story? It says Tesla hides Disney Plus from the car screens.
I did.
This is so petty. I love it. It's so fantastic. It says the Disney Plus app has been removed from the video displays from Tesla vehicles.
Oh, an ex-user with the account name The Tesla Ho posted about this, saying Disney Plus has now been removed from Tesla vehicles. I'm assuming this is in retaliation to Disney pulling advertising from X, which they have every right to do.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But now she'll have to explain to her toddlers why they can't watch Disney Plus in the Tesla and deal with their upset feelings because two grown men can't have a civil discussion and move on.
Well,
I guess Elon is just not the one to pick a fight with.
yeah.
They removed the icon, but they didn't like prevent people from running Disney movies. I mean, you could probably still get there through the website.
Hey, stop it.
Wow.
It's
It
not behaving today.
It listened to me that time. It was like, all right, Brett, I'm done. It says, they say they're assuming that it's retaliation. And I do love, but the thing is Elon Musk is actually the only person who's been able to show, like, look, when you have like actual market value, when you actually have a lot of power, you can actually make swift changes that affect these companies. Something like that is a perfect example of this. Nobody else is willing to do that when Disney steps out of line or does something stupid, right? Nobody else is willing to push back on them except for YouTubers. And now some of these journos are starting to notice it and point it out, but it's not really catching, right? There was the article about Marvel this year, about the downfall of Marvel and how bad they're doing. But that was like the first time that we saw that they were actually willing to admit that these companies aren't doing as well as they're pretending that they are.
Willing to accept defeat, finally.
There's a $20 one here. Oh, no, there's a $30 one here from Rico Cantrell. Says, Ric Flair almost kicked my ass one time because I didn't know who he was. He was just a cool guy that I was shooting tequila with for 3 days. The very next morning at the bar, we took a picture together. Good times.
Awesome.
I love it.
That's cool.
I bet it's just tequila out the pores. Explains why he sweats so much when he wrestles and why he's like covered in, like, whenever he's bleeding.
Well, I thought that was cocaine as well, but
probably that as well. So go Rick. Live
Rick.
your best life as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
That's right.
But yeah, like Disney is going to keep to struggle, and Elon Musk is the voice of a lot of people who don't really have a say in it, because whenever YouTubers would point this stuff out, they got called either alt-right or conspiracy theorists, or you're my favorite is man baby. I saw a comment on one of ours recently that called us man babies, so I hope you enjoyed that. You're a man baby now, Mary.
What did the comment say?
It just said, must suck to be a man baby.
On what?
Man baby?
Because
maybe.
of
I don't know.
our take on Disney?
I think it was on a Disney video, yeah. So, that's...
See, they're more pathetic running cover for a mega corporation for free.
They love it. They love it, though. No, but also, like, maybe those are those people we were talking about, Firebell, and how they have these... programs that are designed to run for like emergency scenarios when companies hit PR snags. Maybe these are just people that are paid to tweet on their behalf or paid to leave comments on their behalf. You never know.
I guess so.
You never know these days. Anything's possible. When a company's worth that much money, it's kind of naive to think that they wouldn't employ people to try to shift public opinion.
We should do that.
Platform. We should. Who wants to work for like 50 cents in a candy bar to say nothing but nice stuff about Pop Culture Crisis Online?
Yeah, we'll send you our spare Jeremy's chocolates.
I think I've got one left.
I
think I've got one left. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.